Alrighty, folks, we're going to do something slightly different with the CEO of Hemlane. Dana is a technologist. She has been in the tech space for a long time. She has a solution now that has over like 100,000 clients on it, something crazy impressive. She's been talking about using AI for years now. And as you know, as I've said on the Daily Financial News, I personally believe that OpenAI will go down in the history books as the company that lit the most money on fire ever. Now, and again, let me be clear. AI is real. AI is valuable. OpenAI is going to light money on fire and not get a return. So I thought I would do here is go to Dana and see what she thinks of my crazy thoughts. So she can tell me where I'm wrong. Because again, she is a user and I'm just some outsider poking holes. What do you got, Dana?
Yeah. So I think the big question that I have is if OpenAI is going to light so much money on fire so badly that the company goes under or doesn't do well, what's the alternative? This market is because of how much it costs to build these to actually build the back end and the actual AI itself with the data. I don't think that it's a winner takes all market, but I think you're always going to have 2, 3, 4 players, top players who dominate. And I don't see it changing that OpenAI is not one of those dominant players in the space. And so I guess my first question for you, Michael, is like, do you think this is a winner takes all market and Anthropic just takes it? Do you think there's a couple players in the space, but OpenAI won't be one of them because they've lit too much money on fire? Where are you from that perspective?
So again, I think AI is real. I want to be I'm not anti-technology.
Yeah,
I just
of course not.
Yeah. So again, when I think about OpenAI, and again, we can actually talk about OpenAI with more details because just this week they posted numbers. I don't know if you saw them.
Yeah.
But OpenAI's revenue was up 18%. Anthropic's more than doubled. So that's
it's
more
because
than 100%.
That's consumer versus enterprise for you.
Of course.
One has a willingness to pay, one doesn't. And I could tell you our spend on Anthropic versus OpenAI. I can tell you a little bit of that too.
Yeah. So I'd love to get into that. So I believe there will be enterprises that are using Anthropic and likely others forever. It is a real market. There are markets that have, regulations and HIPAA and government. That's real. I believe consumers are going to go the route of Google, right? It's just a URL. We use it occasionally. We don't pay for it. It's free.
Yeah.
So that's where I think the value is. So again, if you had built a revenue model like OpenAI, and you are borrowing billions and hundreds of billions of dollars on a revenue model that's supposed to be going up and to the right. And now they should be extremely disappointed at 18% growth. That is not the ROI they have from their bonds. Their bonds are expecting triple digit growth for years to come.
Yeah.
It's not here. The other thing that I thought was really interesting was 2 weeks ago, their chief revenue officer left. And as a sales guy through
that is a bad sign.
Yeah, when the CRO leaves, why does the CRO leave? Because they don't want to post a bad quarter on their number. They want to look because they're telling you we're not going to get there. We're not going to get there. Their sales teams are not making money. They are not happy. All the good ones are going to Anthropic. OpenAI, in my opinion, is fucked. Their revenue model is crashing. Their return on investment is crashing. And their only hope is suckers buy their stuff in the IPO, which I just don't know that they have enough runway to get there. It's not looking good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I always say if the CRO leaves on their own or the CFO leaves on their own, it's always a very bad sign.
Oh, by the way, their CFO left as well.
Yeah, so there you go. One of my questions for you on it, because there's so much money in the enterprise space, and I think companies are itching for an alternative to Anthropic because you
For sure.
don't want a monopoly where they can charge everything. Why do you not think that OpenAI is the best to compete in that space?
Well, again,
Like the best
I think,
compared to everyone else out there. You've got Grok and
yeah,
Gemini.
I think what's going to come to the enterprise is there's going to be a premium option, which I think Anthropic is hands down the choice today, and likely the choice into the future. I don't see them losing that. And then I think the next
Yeah,
solution is going to be, how do we, use a LLM that's free, open source, but we keep it in house. I think that's where this
yeah,
market is going. That's what I think is going to
yeah.
happen.
Okay, interesting. I I feel, or I don't feel. Based on what I have seen, companies out there are itching for an alternative to the cost associated with Anthropic. And there's
Absolutely.
just no other option out there. And I believe that OpenAI has a chance because they have really smart people there. I mean, the number of people who apply for a job there is insane, right? They can get anyone. I would highly suspect that their team is thinking only enterprise now and
They would
saying,
have to.
here,
They have to. Yeah.
let's map out where we could go. There's Claude Code. We could go after that. We could go after just businesses using us, integrating their data. We can talk about if there is in like a managed services for businesses that may act more like consumer. In other words, they don't have tech teams, and we bring the managed services in, we implement the AI for them, almost like a Palantir model.
Yeah.
I would wonder if there's just some opportunity there for them to turn the ship around. And I think when a company goes through a rough time, like a lull in growth, you almost think so much in a different direction because I would assume they have to in their board meetings sit there and say, hey, something's got to change. And when they do, really have the smartest people strategizing where to go. And I just don't know. I mean, I know Anthropic's up here and they're down here, but all the other companies just seem so far away from
Yeah.
it and behind that they could turn it around. The one problem I do see is I was over at the Uber office the other day, and they're right next to OpenAI, and it's a different culture than what they used to have. They used to have the office in the Mission here in San Francisco, so I'm pointing that way. OpenAI used to have that small team. I mean, it was like 500 people starting it. Now you look at the office; it's so corporate, right?
Hmm.
So and there's so many people at OpenAI now. The amount of hiring they're doing is insane.
Mm.
So I would, if I were running OpenAI, I would start almost like an incubator aside that has full control and autonomy over what they do, super high budgets. They don't have to justify anything and go straight after that enterprise, knowing what works for Anthropic. Because a company like us, who's using so much AI, there's so many different cases that we use it with, like voice and agents, where it's like we're paying these other companies, not Anthropic for it, but other companies,
Yeah.
and the costs just keep going up because we had to make this. I mean, even in Hemlane, the amount of growth we've had in the last 6 to 8 months has been, we can't throw people at the problem. We can't double our team size. So we have to, it's that saying 10x is easier than 2x.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to have to figure out how to do something that 10x is, because 2x would be doubling our headcount and doing what we're doing now. And AI has been a lot of our answer to that. But
Yeah.
when I look at the cost and the solutions out there, I think there's a huge opportunity for OpenAI to just tackle a couple of those segments and say, we'll own the whole thing. We'll give you the data, the agents, everything directly in there. And so I think there's still an opportunity for them to turn it around, but they have to be thinking internally, we've got to halt what we're doing and shift our mindset.
Yeah. So Yes, I mean, there's always opportunity. But again, this is a company that was on a tremendous growth rate, who has borrowed
Mhm.
hundreds of millions of dollars and has real
Yeah.
debt outstanding
Yeah.
that has to look more risky. What does that
Yeah.
mean? That means cost of debt is going to go up.
Yeah.
And at some point, borrowing money at 12, 14, whatever it's going to be, isn't going to make sense.
Yeah.
There should be real questions. Like the CFO and CRO left. Your
Yeah.
growth was 18 measly percent.
Yeah.
People should really question, why am I investing in this? Why shouldn't I just
Yeah.
go back to Anthropic and double down there?
Yeah.
They have a, I don't think they have a, I don't think the fuse is long enough for your idea for incubation, which I love. As a go-to-market guy who did that, I could
Mhm.
change it in, I could change, it would probably take me 15 months to create a go-to-market strategy, get products, get customers, and start triple digit growth, which I've done 3 different times.
Yeah.
That's not a 5-month thing. And I don't think OpenAI has 15 months.
So do you think, I mean, there's in this type of situation, two things happened. Um, One, there's layoffs, right? And a kind of a reorg is the first one.
Mhm.
And then the second thing that happens is that prior investors get diluted, right, as they
That's
restructure the
coming.
cap table.
That's
And
coming.
so those are probably the two things, and the common shareholders are always the ones that get wiped out first, right?
Amen.
So you would think, when do you think both of those things happen? When do you
I
forecast that?
Again, I think of, so OpenAI cannot post another quarter of 18% growth. Cannot.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
If they do that again, death sentence.
Yeah.
Which again, I don't see why it wouldn't. I'm hearing more and more people cancel, even at $20 or whatever it is now. Cancel. So if they're not somehow magically, knocking down enterprise customers, they
Yeah.
just like the dynamite's going to explode. The M80 is going to go off, and shrapnel's going everywhere.
What
So
are
they
people
got,
canceling for? Are they canceling for the free plan, or are they canceling for something else?
again, I think most people can get away with the free stuff.
Yeah.
It's like 95% is good. And
Yeah.
we're having it brainstorm topics and do this and do that. We're not
Yeah.
looking for advanced agents and all of that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, were got on Chat GPT because it was fun, new, and different. And now they're
Yeah.
like, shit, I don't use it all that often. I don't need another monthly expense.
Yeah. What do you think though about we were a beta user, and I can tell you the results of it. We were one of the first beta users on ChatGPT ads. So when someone types in best property management platform, Hemlane comes on top, right? That was what we were basically testing.
Sure.
What do you think? Like, that is billions of dollars that you could take from Google and toss it in there. And so even if everyone moves to the free version, like, Google's free, but they make a ton of money off businesses and business ads.
Agreed. No, I think, again, I'm not saying OpenAI goes away. The technology
Mhm.
is real. They would just fundamentally be a different company. And I
Yeah.
think we brought up an excellent example. They could become this generation's Google,
Google. That's
and
exactly how I see them. Yeah.
yeah, and you're selling ads,
Yeah.
and you're doing it that way. And then you're buying keywords, and it's all the same stuff, just in a different direction. But again, OpenAI won't be this behemoth. Like, they're going to have, like, if I'm right, they're going to go through what Elon Musk did to Twitter.
Hmm.
Somebody's going to come in and fire 80% of the people, realize that 75% of them were doing jack shit, hire
Nothing.
5% of
Yes.
them back,
Yeah.
and the company will run profitably.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
no one talks about how great it was what Elon did, because people are like, "Oh, look, he's cutting, and look at this." It's
yeah,
like,
blah blah
yeah, but
blah.
actually, if you look at the numbers are a heck of a lot better afterwards.
Yeah,
And
it's a
it,
company that can survive now. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, it was a joke. Twitter's office is down from ours, and it was like a joke of like, don't hire anyone from Twitter because they don't work. That
yeah,
was the
exactly.
the joke around Silicon Valley.
Oh,
So,
it went
um,
even to the South Bay. Yeah, I knew people that
yeah,
wouldn't. Nobody got hired from Twitter because y'all did nothing. You just sat on couches and did
exactly.
whatever the hell you did. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
you're not. So you said earlier you could tell me about your spend, and rough
yeah.
numbers are fine. So I'm curious, where did it, like, when you got that first line item for using AI? How long ago was that?
Well, we were using it at least 2 years ago.
Okay.
And it was through Anthropic. We started with Claude Code, but
Okay.
then when we built our own Jarvis agent, our own AI agent, it was off of that.
Okay.
Um, and so I don't even think that when we first started, it was, a couple $100 a month, right?
Okay. All right.
And then it kind of ballooned this past year. It's really ballooned where it's 50 on track to $100,000 a month, right, in cost, which is multiple employees when you think
Yeah,
about it,
for sure.
in cost. And so our analysis is, hey, if we were to get rid of it, how many people would we have to hire? And I think the biggest value add that I've seen so far is on the coding side, because the
Mm,
most expensive
sure.
headcount for us is engineers. And then it makes so much sense. So the
Okay.
coding is really where we see most of the value. The customer service and agent stuff, that's interesting because we continue to invest in that. But the real reason we invest in that is hiring and training and ensuring quality is really hard in any business that you're in.
Yeah.
And when you're looking to say, hey, I need to double, to your point, triple, 4x, you can't, your quality of hiring goes down when you're trying to do growth spurts of hiring.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it actually costs the company so much more. You're thinking of the HR resources, the offboardings, the new onboardings, the new training.
Yeah.
And that's where suddenly you start saying, hey, we have a much higher willingness to pay than we expected when you look at the all in cost.
Hmm.
What is interesting on a different topic is ChatGPT ads, because them becoming the next Google, we were like, great, let's go ahead and try ChatGPT ads.
Yeah.
They don't have it right yet. Like,
Mm,
our costs to acquire a customer on ChatGPT ads was so much higher
mm.
than Google and Meta, either one. Because we look at cost per sign up, we
Yeah.
look at customer acquisition cost. And so we just scrapped it. We were one of their beta customers, had like this advantage of being the first in, but our feedback to them was like, unless you can get the cost down of what you're charging us, whatever algorithm you're
Yeah.
using, which
Not
you guys have
working
a lot
yet.
of data, it's not working yet. It's not as smart as Google or Facebook.
Yeah.
So TB determined if it is, but that's a little bit where it is today.
Yeah. So again, you're not making me feel better. I'm feeling more and more right about my opinion about OpenAI going down as the company that literally burned the most money.
Yeah.
Um, have I changed your opinion at all, or are you still like, Zuber, you're crazy?
I think that in any situation, I think they're too big to fail in
Sure.
a lot of ways. I think that there will be hard times for them. And I think that it's actually good. It's a right decision. To your point, they've been just hiring anyone and kind of being like, hey, let's try to get every talent in here versus
Yeah.
the right
It's an
talent.
arms race. Yeah. They're treating it as an arms race. Yeah.
Yeah, just hire, hire, hire. And, you know, I've seen that at other companies. When I was at Apple, I remember our CFO would have a heart attack back in 2010 because the front entryway would be full of, like, he would tell me, he's like, there's so many people in the front entry here for their first day on Mondays.
Yeah.
Give him a heart attack because he's like, I know that the more people we hire, to some extent, the more inefficient, because now you
Yeah.
have to go through 10 people to get approvals or anything
Layers.
done.
Yeah.
And you see that with any company. And so that's really where they have to kind of think about what structure do they need in place to go back to that startup mentality of growth.
It's going to be fun. Again,
Yeah.
technology is a great place because there's always winners and losers, and people come out hot and then disappear. And this companies have to change their go-to-market strategy, which is what I did for years. So
Yeah.
OpenAI, I think you're in trouble. You better go figure it out. Dana, if somebody wanted to reach out to you or follow you, where do they go?
Yeah. You can go to hemlane.com. Just mention one rental at a time, because you do get our highest discount for your first year, which is 20%. And we are in the property management space. So anything from free resources on how to manage your properties better, all the way to helping you find and place a tenant and manage the day to day.
Yeah, Hemlane is an amazing resource used by hundreds of people in the ORAT community. So we appreciate you coming every week. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks for having me. Bye.